here's an interesting idea that I had. I think it'd be really cool. So here I have the priest, right? I have the priest, and I can change the race, the custom dropdown. Say we're gonna make the priest a creep, and he goes to the neutral passive folder, right? I can say I want to make the priest night elf. How about that? And he'll go to the night elf folder, right? Say we want to put him in orc. We'll go to the orc folder. How about that? Now, what I think would be really cool would be if I could hold shift and press enter here and put spaceship and have the priest go to spaceship. When I do that, he goes to neutral passive at the top. Now, I'm in a custom world editor, but notably, if I go to the actual priest and I actually type spaceship in here, you'll see that my custom world editor was made to mimic the behaviors of the real one as exactly as possible. So, knowing that to be the case, I would want to say Blizzard might tell us it's pretty hard for them to make this race drop down, make new folders, right? That if I want to put spaceship in here and make a new folder, that's hard to do. In response to that, I wanna give my rebuttal. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into unit folder, unit sort by race folder, and I'm gonna show you that this isn't hard. Okay? So what we do, we figure out the race key, and if the race key is null, it becomes neutral passive. Okay. But what if we don't do that? What if we do it a different way? You know how we would do it? I would just go in here and say, if that happens, and it's not found, and there is no such folder, let's make a new one, right? You ought to be able to do that. And to do that, it shouldn't be very hard. Obviously, you know, it's 4 in the morning, so I'm coding a little bit more slowly than a Blizzard employee. But I'm just thinking about myself, or thinking about my code here. I think what we want to do is change the race folder to just use the string race. And if sorting folder tree node equals null equals new unit race level folder. And for that, we're just going to give it a sort race. Alright, we're just going to give it the sort race, where the key string is the race and the display name are the race. Alright. Now I know that took me a pretty long time. I did some complicated staring and thinking and whatever. So obviously that didn't work. Didn't work quite right. But that's okay. Let's fix it. So we had a bit of an explosion of data. You know, a lot of things, they don't work the first time, right? But obviously the challenge here is that there are several things that apparently are in the creeps race, which is kind of funny. How does that differ from what you get if you choose creep on the creep dropdown? It isn't. So that's one issue. It appears to be the case that I didn't make a default folder for the way neutral passive, neutral hostile don't work. So that's a little unfortunate, you know? I guess we got neutral hostile in there. What is that? Hostiles? That doesn't make any sense, because that's not what it is. It's creeps. Right? Creeps. So that's pretty weird that I used the string hostiles here. I wonder, is this used anywhere else? I guess not. I guess that's probably a deliberate attempt on my part to make the creep string fail to resolve. But we ought to at least be able to essentially make this validate in the old way. So, you know, we have a bit of an issue, right? A bit of an issue. That is, I had the creeps string resolving to be a creep because of the flag that says creep, not actually because it's on the list. And this is true of demon and commoner and critter and other. They're all doing that. And then apparently there's some kind of glitched unit called RMF that I don't know what that is, and it's not in the real game. So that's some kind of error in my code. We're going to ignore RMF. But other than RMF, all these other guys that are commoner and demon and these others are now organizing into their own folders, which we don't really want. So for that, I guess what we could just say is we'll do this the dumb way for now. We'll make a list of strings that are default neutral races, right? And we can just say this is commoner, demon, critters, other, creeps, anything that goes in the neutral category, right? And then I could say if default neutral races contains race, then race key equals neutral passive else. So we get the defaults in there. Okay, that ought to kind of get that going. We fix their defaults. Everything goes back together, and we put in a little empty string guy for NRMF because it's glitched. I don't even know what that is. So we're gonna get rid of it off of our space here. We eradicate that, and now we're back to where everything looks great. Except if I go in the priest and I do Shift Enter, and I enter spaceship. Now he goes to a folder called Spaceship. Now, was that very hard? It really wasn't. It really, really wasn't. And now what that means I can do is I can have, like, corrupted Night Elf units, right? And I can put them in the corrupted Night Elf folder. Now, obviously, we have the problem that the Spaceship folder then hangs around with 0 in it. But you can get rid of that. You know, there are obvious ways to get rid of that. So, then, you know, I can go in here and I can copy all the Night Elf units. And I can just make them all corrupted Night Elf. Let's do that. Corrupted Night Elf. Now I guess we have a problem, which of course is that this thing only actually edits one of these at a time, which is unfortunate, but obviously that we could fix also. Should fix, because really, it's not good if this is not fixed. It should be fixed, right? But it's not fixed right now. Just needs a little bit more code. So anyway, I can now make corrupted Night Elf units. Think about that. Like, think about, I mean, it's like, I think it means that modding Warcraft in the current editor, given that doing this takes 10 or 15 minutes for Blizzard Entertainment, doing this in the current world editor, like, not being able to do this is insane. I mean, it's like, it's one of the reasons that when I think about using the world editor, I feel like it's insane right now, and that's why everybody's waiting for Reforged. So I look forward to the future, and I really hope that people can take away from this how easy this was for me to do, how absolutely easy this was for me to do. This is not hard at all, and now I can just dynamically create whatever folder I want, and it works great, right? I could go in here and say that this ballista is a High Elf ballista now, and it goes to a folder called High Elf. It's really not hard to do that. Right? That's really not hard to do. So if Reforged comes out and they don't do that, we got to talk to them. We got to talk to them. We got to get them to fix it. Okay? Thanks. Have a good one.